Joined by head coach Bill O'Brien for the game day preview leading up to the Purdue game. Well, Coach, you always talk about coming into Monday, watching the film, learning from what you saw from the Ohio State game. What'd you learn?
Too many mistakes. We can't go out there and play a team like Ohio State and make the mistakes that we made, whether it was penalties or missed assignments or lack of communication. So we've had a good, solid week of practice, and hopefully we've corrected those mistakes, and we'll do a better job against Purdue.
Yeah, how did the seniors come back on Monday? What was their message to the team?
Well, as usual, like it's been all year, this is a very resilient bunch of guys led by a very, very resilient senior class. And so they came back ready to work on Monday, and we had some really good practices this week, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
When you look at Purdue's offense, Robert Marv, a sixth-year quarterback, a guy that's played a lot of football, some skill guys with some speed. What do you see from that group?
Well, I recruited Robert Marv when I was at Duke, so that tells you how long he's been in college football. So he's a good football player. He's smart. He's accurate. They have a lot of good skill players. I think they're a dangerous football team, and they present a big challenge across the board to our defense.
Talk about their defense up front and some of the scheme things they like to do.
Yeah, they have two inside tackles that are really tough, big, physical players. So that's a big challenge for our center and our two guards. That'll be a big challenge for them. Linebacker-wise, secondary-wise, very instinctive group, athletic, run to the ball well, tackle well. So again, just like our defense, our offense has a big challenge too.
This is a Purdue team that took Ohio State into overtime, so the record might not be indicative of how well they've played collectively. What do you see overall from this team?
This is a good football team. This is a team that, like you said, took Ohio State to overtime, played some tough games against Wisconsin and Michigan, and so we've got to be ready to go. It's a road game. It's a Big Ten opponent, and we need to come and go into that environment and be ready to play well.
I want to talk to you about special teams. Big play from Mike Hall and Mike Yancich. Talk about guys like Mike Yancich. How important are those guys to the football team?
Huge. I mean, you can't say enough about the role that Yancich, Hull, Ben Klein, Derek Day, Michael Zordich, all those guys play really, really big roles on special teams. Curtis Dukes, running down on the kickoff team, has played a big role for us this year. Those role players, those guys that accept those roles, Brandon Felder on offense, accepting the role that he has, Gary Gilliam. I mean, you can go up and down the roster and look at guys that have really accepted their roles and meant a lot to this football team, and that's the way it's always going to be. As long as I'm the head coach here, that guys really have defined roles and help us win in any way they can.
You touched on Brandon Felder. 2 good games for him in a row. What's he doing better right now?
Well, he's improved a lot since spring practice. You know, he's really grasped what we're trying to do offensively, and he's a good route runner. He's blocking well in the running game. He's a team player. I think his hands have improved. He's catching the ball better, and like I said in the beginning, his knowledge of our offense is better. So all those things combined lead to improved play for Brandon.
You have 4 games to play, 4 more opportunities for the seniors to put the jersey on. What's the message to the team?
Well, you know, it's pretty interesting to think about that. You know, time flies, and it always flies when you're a senior. And for me too, you know, it seems like just yesterday I got here and I was introduced to this team and that senior class. So, you know, I just want these guys to go out. I want the younger players to go out and play well for the seniors. I want the seniors to go out and have 4 memorable games, starting with this one at Purdue, and I just want the best for our senior class.
Saturday, 3:30 at Ross-Ade Stadium. Penn State takes on Purdue. Keys to the game.
Well, on defense, we're going to have to play very well within the framework of our defense. We've got to create some takeaways. We've got to force Purdue to turn the football over. We've got to play really well on 3rd down against Purdue. Offensively, we have to stand up to the challenge of the 2 inside tackles. We've got to be ready to beat certain coverages. We have to play fast. We have to start fast. So those are things that are important. On special teams, the specialists need to do their jobs. We need to punt well. We need to kick well. We've got to cover kicks properly. We've got to, on our punt return team, try to do the best we can to stay on our blocks and set up a score. So we've got to do a great job on special teams. And again, just like every game, that can make a big difference in the game.
One final thing, Allen Robinson's talked a little bit about defenses playing him a little bit differently now that he's had some big numbers. Do you see that on film? Are our teams doing that?
Sure. You know, I think there's definitely evidence of teams rolling over the top of him, you know, rolling a corner up on him and putting a safety over the top. But again, we've moved him around quite a bit, so hopefully that helps him. And you know, his knowledge of the offense, his ability to change identity within different personnel groups helps free him up too, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Coach, best of luck Saturday.
Thanks, Tony.